Hello and welcome everybody. I am Israa Mashharawi. In this video I'd like to share with you my presentation about Othello and storytelling. I will start with the storytelling as an identity, then we will talk about the colonization of that identity, the colonization of stories. So as we know that Othello comes from Western society, which means that he's shaped with the stories, he's shaped with the storytelling. Stories are his identity. And that is clear from the beginning of the play that Othello is not just being raised as a brave warrior, a brave fighter, he is also praised as being a storyteller. When Othello says, "Her father loved me, often invited me, still questioned me the story of my life, from year to year, the battles, sieges, fortunes that I have passed." So, stories are his identity, and that is actually why his wife Desdemona loves him. He says, "She would come again and with a greedy ear devour my discourse." In this speech he is justifying for her father that their marriage is not because of a witchcraft, it's because the witchcraft of words, the witchcraft of stories. He says, "This only is the witchcraft I have used." Actually, Othello is not just turning his past and his present into stories. He believes in stories as his future, as his fate. He predicts his future through stories. For instance, when he tells Desdemona the story of the handkerchief, he illustrates that the loss of this handkerchief means the loss of the relation, means the end of the relation. He says to lose or give it away were such a prediction as nothing else could match. And this is how the handkerchief got its value from the story behind it. And this is how stories turning an ordinary object to something that has a value. And this could be why Iago urges his wife Emilia to steal the handkerchief from Desdemona, because he knows the story behind it. And this point leads us to the colonization of Othello's mind by Iago. Iago cunningly knows the psyche of Othello and he knows his mindset, his characters, so he deceives and colonizes Othello's mind. He deceives and colonizes the source of narration for Othello, so he deceives his whole life. Iago says, to abuse Othello's ear, that he is too familiar with his wife, he hath a person and smooth dispose, to be suspected, framed to make woman false. So Iago states that he wants to abuse Othello's ear, he wants to take the authority within Othello's mind, and the plan is to change the narrative that guides Othello's future. And this is the fact that while Othello is a storyteller, Iago is a wordsmith who deceives Othello, who leads him to his tragic end, to his tragic flaw, who makes him lose his identity. And by losing narration, Othello lost himself. As in the last scene when Lodovico comes and asks, "Where is this rash and most unfortunate man?" Othello replies, "That's he that was Othello. Here I am." There is no longer the past Othello. Now we have an Othello who lost himself by losing his narration, by losing his love, by losing his life. He says, "That was Othello. Here I am." He lost himself. There was an Othello. Now we have another Othello who lost himself, whose narration has been taken from him, has been colonized, has been deceived. At the end of the play, in his last soliloquy, Othello tells us his story and tells us that he wants to be story, he wants to be in the history by his story. He says, "No more of that, I pray you, in your letters, when you shall these unlucky deeds relate, speak of me as I am, nothing extenuate, nor sit down at in malice. Then must you speak of one that loved not wisely, but too well, of one not easily jealous, but being proud." So this is Othello, the storyteller. So this is Othello. I see him the storyteller who believes in the power of words, the power of stories, the power of narration, and he knows that he could be immortal by his story. So that was my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching and goodbye.